talk about winter services, and I think we need to start doing more detail blowing, making sure that there's like no leaves in beds at this time of year, like checking behind bushes and underneath some porches too. And then I think a good idea would probably be like you and your team member blow and then pile them up and then get all the leaves out of the places that need a spray. And then when that time comes, one person can spray, the other person can pick up the debris. And if that person's not done with debris, you can go help them pick the rest of the debris up, and that should be more time efficient. And then I was thinking keep 2 cans of mixed fuel when winter services go in like to full effect, and then so that you wouldn't run out because you're gonna be using a lot of blowers.
Yeah, blowers got the biggest gas.
Yeah. And Matt said to me about bagging leaves with push mowers, and that was a good idea. Instead of like, because it chops them up, makes it like you can pack more into the bags. And a good important one is to always have your snaps for sure, because then you can see the vines. But yeah, if anybody's got anything else to say.
Yeah, I'll throw in there. It happened to Bailey and Brandon just last week. They went to go do a winter service based off the mowing time, and did it work out at all? No. They went. So they had 30 minutes. They spent an hour. So props to Bailey and Brandon for biting the bullet and going 30 minutes over. Sucked for them, sucked for the company too, because if we go over, we're not getting paid for that time over, neither are y'all. So that's why, we talk about time here so much. So Brian and I talked, we don't want y'all going more than 15 minutes over. And the reason we have a different mindset for that during the winter is because it's more work for y'all during a slower time of the year. So like March through October, we're focused on P4P. We're still focused on that during winter services, but we're gonna allow for extra time so we have more work to do. Also, part of the reason they went over so bad is they did all the leaves in the front and back on the grass. If you know you're about to go over, let's do the front yard. Collect the front yard, hit the weeds in the beds, blow out the beds if you have time, and then blow off the turf in the back and kind of put a pile.
Regular presentable, put it in the develop area.
So that's it. I think Bailey did great. I just wanted to mention, use that example from last Friday. And I know we're a couple blowers short right now, so I think that leaves one crew with one blower. As soon as I get a blower back, I'll make sure to get y'all one, but I can't go spend $500 on another one when I have 2 sitting there getting repaired. So whoever does have the one, I'm very sorry, but we do have some little blowers. You need those today?
I need one,
Yeah.
just in case, but I was
Just
about
one.
to say somebody else can take the other one.
Cool.
that I have.
Yeah, I know it's not the best. We do have another small blower. You can take it, the crew that has one blower. And then-
If it is a particular situation where like they're not able to do all of, like the front and the back, do they need to let you know so that you can let a client
Yeah.
know, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I think if we can do the yard, if we go over 15 minutes or less and they collected the front, but they made piles in the back, that's fine. But if you can't blow off the grass in the back at least in that time, that extra 15 minutes, then call me.
And I would say, Bailey, you did a great job. I really appreciate the time you spent thinking about all that, and it pertains to what we're doing right now. So that's awesome. I did want to add, just so that everybody's super clear about what's expected of winter services, and the main thing is debris, right? Yeah, when you're on your jobs, as far as with your service autopilot, click details. It'll tell you what all is expected of winter services, and what we're doing there. We'll let you know when we start pruning things, what to look for, like roses, lantana, crepe myrtles. Right now it's debris and weeds and beds are the most important things when it comes to winter services. So debris is going to take your most amount of your time, and there's going to be situations just like Bailey and Brandon went to. They didn't have enough time to do, everything that they did, but they took the time to do that, and I appreciate that, guys. That really says something about your character. But it's not sustainable to do at every yard.
Right.
All right, so this is what you do with a situation like that. You can look at everything that is going to be a pain to the customer. It's going to be like an eyesore if it doesn't get done. So that's all hard surfaces, driveways, sidewalks, curbside, front porches, back porches, decks, anything hard surface wise, and the lawn. So like Jeremy was saying, if we can only have time to collect from one section, pick the front yard, and then in the backyard, we're not trying to hide things. We're not putting things inside of a bed. We want it to be, if a customer asks, hey, why did you leave this large pile of debris? Well, thank you for asking. We spent all the time that we possibly could. We wanted to make sure your backyard was blown, and we also have a place designated for pickup next service. We'll pick up from that. So you pick like a safe area that's not hidden, because customers hate when you hide things.
Right.
They love finding it out and letting us know. So don't hide anything. Make it as conspicuous as possible, not in the middle of the yard, but like on the corner of a fence, perfectly fine. But yeah, that's all I wanted to bring into that as far as winter services go.
So, yeah, it came up just last Friday. Got to improve my lantana or my rose bushes. Well, man, we spent, the entire time blowing off your yard. So, yeah, just like you said, that's the number 1 through 7 in case you hadn't seen a winter services yet. And on the job, if it just says winter services, but you need to read this again, it's under the details.
Yep, and even the bottom it says, so the customer sees or will be reminded, task will be performed in order of importance, starting with debris collection. And there's a list of 6 items.
So, and I'd say that'll be the whole month of December, and the remainder of this month will be debris. Most of it will be done in the first week or second week of January, and then I'll come show everyone how to prune rose bushes and crepe myrtles.
If you don't mind, I had a little something prepared, Bailey.
And one last thing, I'm gonna buy everyone a bag. We gotta start keeping our receipts.
Oh yeah, me and Jeremy had a meeting with our accountant, and he got on to us. He said, in the case of an audit, I know we're doing everything on the up and up, everything's digital, but the tax man doesn't care about that. If they audit you, they want physical receipts. So, all y'all gotta do, we're gonna get you a bag, like Jeremy said, for each truck, just cram them in there, and once a week or once a month, we'll go in there, we'll just go in there and we'll take them and we'll seal them in a bag and hope that an audit never happens. Just because they're not fun.
Oh,
No, it's like anything
so
you
we
use
could
to
do
come
like
up
a P3 July Ziploc bag of
That's
checks.
all we gotta do.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I still got big Ziplocs in big boxes from Helga's Pub, just in case.
So right
My
on
safe
the
is full of
receipt
receipts.
too,
I
right, if
saved
it's
it
for
from-
gas or for ice or.
I have all of them.
It'll be itemized, it should be, so it should be
Do you
good.
want them to put the date at the top? I know that's crazy.
No,
I know
we'll
it should
just-
be on there,
They
but
should be on there.
We'll just do a month. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll just.
Because all the IRS wants to see is they just want to check to see if you're doing anything.
sure.
If you're not doing anything, they're gonna get you. But so I had something I wanted to prepare, and I wanted to thank. There's probably one person in this room that exemplifies it perfectly, and that is punctuality, and that would be Bailey. I really appreciate it. You're here most of the time, not much longer after I show up, and it's just you're always here, and I appreciate it. It's it may sound like something simple, but it's starts your day off right, and I really appreciate the dependability. There's other people here that are doing pretty well. Actually, Cody is exemplary. Sorry, there's 2 people, Cody and Bailey, that are exemplary with that. There's a couple of highly improved folks, and I would say McKeith, highly improved, and kind of tapered back a little. Brandon, highly improved, and then, this morning, that's okay. Will has shown good improvement. Chris
was probably the most improved, because once we talked to him about that, it just absolutely stopped. And in this company in general, we don't have a whole lot of, it's not like a lot of companies that I've seen. Or when Fine Lines was here, we just, please God, just show up. You know, but one of the biggest things we do here is our mission is to increase the level of professionalism in the industry, right? And I would have to say that's probably the most simple thing that you could possibly do to start off in a professional way and show up on time. You know, it can be kind of a habit that you choose to do, that you want to wake up with the least amount of time possible to get you to where you're going on time. And it's just a habit, you know. It's not, and this isn't, you know, today, this morning, I'm not trying to rain down hard on anybody. I'm kind of going off of, was it Matthew? You talked about time on the last, whenever you spoke. Kind of the premise was
That was
time.
Jeremy, didn't
Who was it?
I thought Jeremy did all the time.
Was it time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot a lot of it.
My
That
bad.
I wanted to say, but
Gotcha.
remember me and you talked about it that one afternoon?
Yeah, I remember there was a meeting. I didn't even remember who it was. I got an Owens.
Yeah.
But and I just wanted to kind of hit off that and what it really resembles. And like I say, it's the most simple thing you can do, but it does take some adjustments if you're not used to waking up early enough to get prepared. Because that's the main thing. Is probably most people probably aren't sitting at home doing something else. You know, like, oh, I gotta get this done at this time, then I gotta leave. It's most likely, because it's early in the morning, is most likely the waking up. Am I right? Okay. So that's the habit that you gotta break is, well, not you. Most habits you gotta break is waking up early enough to give you a little bit extra time. I just want to show you like what it actually represents, because in today's society especially, it can kind of get cast off as well. It really doesn't matter. A lot of things in today's society get cast off as it really doesn't matter, but this is what it represents. So it represents respect, and that's of other people's time and money. So it shows, you know, to everybody here that you respect our time, you respect us, and you want to be present. Professionalism, already hit on that, but what it does is it helps this machine run efficiently, because everybody, you know, yeah, there's ways around it. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's going to be the end of the day, end of the world, if somebody doesn't show up on time and we got to move somebody's vehicle. It's not the craziest thing in the world, but it does help it run a little bit more smoothly. It also helps just the appearance, like especially if you're with a team member. You know, your team member may not even ever say it to you that it bothers you. But if you show up and you're on time, you're super dependable, and your team member can know that whenever they come to work, their team is going to be ready to roll, and you're going to be out the door. And the last one is you're prepared. So being prepared for what's in front of you, for everybody here, it's, you know, yards that we're going to maintain, and that just waking up a little bit earlier. I know me, I hate being rushed. I feel if I ever wake up late, or if someone's trying to rush me out the door, I've got anxiety. I start sweating. My thoughts are racing. I don't like it. And so for me, I wake up, anytime I'm going to do something, I'm a little bit slow myself. But I wake up a couple hours before I need to be there, because I like to be fed. I like to drink my coffee. I like to go to the bathroom. I don't want anything in my way as far as whenever I get to the place I'm going, I want to be calm and be thinking about the day. So it just helps you be prepared. And it's also, like I was saying at the beginning, it's just a habit. It's a small little habit. And like Jeremy, I think, hit on wake up 10 minutes earlier, whatever it has to be. I know whenever I was having to wake up super early, I used to do this thing right before I put the phone on the charger. I would tell myself, I'm not going to snooze. I'm going to wake up when this thing rings. For whatever reason, if I did that, most of the time I woke up. But if I didn't, it's like a subconscious thing in my head, like, you can snooze. I don't know. I wanted to relate. I'm trying to get better with reading God's Word and sharing it with y'all. I really appreciate y'all's open ears, and also be fumbling with it. So I'm gonna get better at memorizing the book. I think this is the book of Mark. or Matthew. Matter of fact, I already forgot it. But the word is, you have been faithful over little, I will set you over much. And this scripture, they were talking about a master that had a couple servants, and they were giving them talents. And talents is basically your salary. So let's say they gave him $40,000 to do what they're going to do with it. And one of the servants got 5 talents. Imagine getting $200,000 right now, and you got to go and show that you can handle that money well. Now, what are you going to do with it? Some of y'all will put it in crypto. Some of y'all would, it would be very good. Some of y'all would put it in a more conservative S&P 500. Some of y'all might just put it in a bond. Some of y'all might go buy some cattle, chop it up, and sell steaks. Whatever you do with it. So, one of the servants took, and they're given different amounts: 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, I think. And the one with 1 took it and buried it. Yeah, by Matthew. Better than I am. Took it and buried it. And so when the master called all the servants, all the ones that had made more said, "Thank you, good and faithful servant." And the one that had 1 did not have a lot of good things to say about him, because he's supposed to be faithful with what he was given, and instead he just hid it. And that's not being faithful with it. So I know that was talking about investment in money, but also as far as your time and showing up on time, it's something small that we all entrust everybody with, to show up on time, to be respectful, professional, dependable, and prepared. It's what it represents. And also, not saying that you're going to be not given an opportunity, but as this company grows, and there's a couple dozen, then 100 people that have the opportunity to be a general manager, have their own location, that kind of stuff is going to matter much more. You might be doing your job really well, but you just can't show up on time. So it's the simple thing that you might be looked over if you can't get it right. So that's just kind of wanted to bring it into perspective, show you a big picture, give you a parable, and just let y'all know the ones that have been working on it, trying to improve. I appreciate it, and the couple that have been very diligent with it, and I would probably say borderline perfect with it. I really appreciate it. All right.
It was a great meeting.
All right, fellas.
The only change up is Gabe and Brandon are switching, and that's it.